Okay, so the natural questions that arise, does this vindicate India's stand once and for all? Even the United States again accepting that Pakistan harbors terrorists. Will Pakistan continue to be in denial? Will the US blow destroy Pakistan's terror network? And is the world finally waking up to Terroristan? And the final question, but I think the answer to that is already known to everyone, especially in India. Will Pakistan mend its ways after getting this ultimatum from Trump? We've got Rajiv Dogra, former diplomat, joining us on the broadcast. Sultan Hali, defense expert, joining us live from Pakistan. And Lieutenant General Shankar Prasad is also live with us. I want to ask you, Mr. Dogra, all your experience with Pakistan, you think anything is going to come off this? Because it's not the first time that there has been a recognition from America, from Afghanistan, how the terror networks in Pakistan have state patronage.
Well, I think we are entering uncharted waters, because for the first time really an American president has said what every American president since 1959 has said privately, that they are fed up with Pakistan's ways and its deceit. Now, that of course is the single biggest step forward as far as checking Pakistan is concerned. But has it come as a surprise to Pakistan? Was it unexpected? I don't think so, because since August of last year, 2017, America has been conveying the same message privately and publicly. It sent its Secretary of State and then Secretary of Defense to Pakistan to convey that Pakistan, as you put it, has to mend its ways. But the effect was that Pakistan became even more obdurate. In fact, it has been responding through its DG ISPR over the last couple of days to say that no more. Pakistan is not going to support and give in to America's demands any longer. So Pakistan's message is very clear, and Pakistan's confidence is also very clear, because the meeting yesterday was of civilian authorities. The National Security Council, which comprises the army chief and other army brass, is going to meet very leisurely and only on Wednesday. So Pakistan is confident of what it is going to do in response. What we have to watch out for, and America has to watch out for, is what kind of damage that response will do in case things escalate.
Group Captain Hali, was this a natural follow-up to when the US president had earlier unveiled his AFPAC strategy? At that time as well, he had said that Pakistan is a major problem area, not just for India, but for Afghanistan and the world as a whole. After that, Pakistan failed to convince other countries that they are doing anything to rein in terror. Hence, the aid is gone now.
Well, Padmuja, thank you very much for having me on your show. Good morning to you and a happy new year. I hope it's happy.
Good morning and a happy new year to you too.
Okay. What I would like to say is that we have been bracing ourselves for this particular impact ever since Donald Trump unveiled his South Asia policy, and specifically about Pakistan and Afghanistan. And he has been saying something similar to this. Earlier, if you recall, Mr. Pence, when he was visiting Afghanistan, he put Pakistan on notice. And now whatever Donald Trump has said exactly has not come as a surprise. And as Dogra rightly pointed out, the DG ISPR has been saying words to the effect of no more as far as Pakistan is concerned. Pakistan, you see, has made up its mind that it's going to do its own thing. Now, when I say that, I don't
even at the cost of having your money cut off, or do you have an assurance from the Chinese that they're going to make up for what the US denies Pakistan?
No, I think there is some kind of a misunderstanding over here, that we are dependent upon US aid, because for the last many months, in fact more than a year or so, America has not only been threatening, but it has been stopping money. And this is not aid, by the way, this is coalition support fund, which they were supposed to supply us for fighting the war on terror, for the
But that is exactly my point, and I want to bring in General Shankar Prasad on that. This money, General Prasad, was aimed to help Pakistan fight terror. But that aim clearly has not been achieved, and there has been also a diversion of funds, as reports in American media have spoken about. Why should this largesse then go to Pakistan anymore?
You're absolutely correct. The money that the Americans did give was to fight terrorism and not to buy fighter aircrafts and all those military equipment which are basically targeting India. So that is very well known. But Padmaja, I like to make a couple of different points as well. First of all, if America really wants to mean business by saying what they said yesterday and stopping financial aid, they must also concurrently right now begin action to show that they mean business. For example, they have a bounty on Hafiz Saeed for the last so many years. Hafiz Saeed is loafing around everywhere. They can see him. Why isn't that bounty fructifying? Because the Americans are not serious about it. Let them fructify that bounty. Let them give $10 million or whatever it is to someone. You will see something happening. The second most important point is this, as rightly brought out earlier by the panelists, the civilian government heads have met yesterday because of this statement. And where are the army? Army people are not at all bothered about it at the moment. So the person who is to be reined in, the person, I don't know whether the right word is sanctioned or not, but sanction perhaps is not the right word. The army chief needs to be reined in. And how do they do that? That is where the American policy will have to show as to how they can directly go to the army chief and rein him. And the third most important point is this, at the macro level, the Americans, if they really want this to stop in some manner or the other, must negotiate with China. The Chinese have great assets in Pakistan. They've invested huge sums of money. Therefore, Americans, if they do anything militarily, the Chinese are going to come against it, because the area where the Chinese have invested money is the area really under dispute and really under terrorism as far as America is concerned against Afghanistan. Therefore, there has to be a dialogue between America and China to make the world understand that they're backing the wrong horse.
We'll take all of these, General Prasad, one by one, but on the second point, I want a quick response from Group Captain Hali. The civilian administration may have consulted yesterday, they may have put out a statement, but Army clearly is not going to listen to anyone. After this, from the US, where do you see things going, Group Captain Hali?
Well, to start with, the army has its role cut out, and it has its policies cut out. And the army chief, he recently addressed the joint parliament, and he made it very clear to them that he is a subservient of the constitutional role which has been laid out for the army. It is going to follow the dictates of the civilian government. So if the civilian government met whatever the civilian government
With respect,
decides,
sir, I don't think anyone on the panel is, I mean, I'm sorry, people are smiling even as you say that.
Padmaja, can I just
General Prasad,
can I just respond to that? Padmaja, can I just respond to that one? You see, the army chief met a couple of days earlier than when Jadhav incident took place. The army chief addressed their political leadership and said, make friends with India. And soon after that, the Foreign Ministry of Pakistan and the Foreign Ministry of India decided to have an access given to the family of Jadhav. And what happened thereafter? 24 hours earlier, everything had been sorted out between the two ministries, and when the next morning the meeting took place, it was completely hijacked by the ISI and the army. Because the army wanted a different way to take the process. While they say for public opinion, while they say for American consumption and everybody else's consumption that they're wanting the political leadership to make friends with India, that is, they will not let that happen. And they will blame the civilian government for not being able to do it. So it's a very interesting game the Pakistan military plays, which the entire world clearly understands. On the one hand, they'll say we want to make friends with India. On the other hand, they will create situation when the civilian government has no role to play in this matter.
Group Captain Hali.
That's what is important. We must ask the Pakistani panelists to comment on this.
Okay, fine, in case you don't want to believe it, but I personally think that General Qamar Javed Bajwa is very much committed to his role under the constitution. It may appear that he is independent, that he has an independent thinking, because the army has been independent for the last 7 decades or so, but efforts are being made at hand to show that it is actually subservient to the civilian government.
Okay, I think we'll just leave that for the time being. Just stay with me, gentlemen. I want to bring in my colleagues Sudhir Ranjan Sen and Hamza Amir as well. Hamza, to you first, joining us live from Islamabad. When you have Khwaja Asif saying, separate fact from fiction, what facts are we expecting to hear from Pakistan today to counter what Donald Trump has alleged?
Padmaja, Pakistan's Foreign Minister Khwaja Asif actually said this in a tweet that Pakistan will respond with clearing out facts from fictions. That means that, Pakistan has already been maintaining that the coalition support fund that has been given to Pakistan has been utilized. Not only that, a lot of more has been utilized on part of Pakistan's own financials in the war on terror, going forward as an ally with the United States and fighting war on terror. And secondly, Pakistan has also maintained the fact that the demands that US has actually always been catering and always been asking for Pakistan to cater something that already have been fulfilled, and now there can be no more options, weighed in or compensations offered by Pakistan when it comes to doing more. And now the Pakistan's position is that
the world... What are the demands that have been fulfilled according to Pakistan?
Pakistan has said that there is no discrimination between good or bad Talibans or even with the Haqqani networks, which US says that Pakistan has not acted against. Pakistan says that operations in Pakistan have been going on indiscriminately against targeted hideouts of militants wherever they are on Pakistan soil. Army chief has also clarified this, that they will not spare anyone who is actually acting on Pakistan. And not only that, Pakistan has now maintained that there is no organized group of terrorists available or operating on Pakistan soil.
Okay, so very quickly, Ambassador Rajiv Dogra, you agree with that?
Well, your guests from Pakistan, including your correspondent, have to maintain a strict borderline, and they have to speak within that borderline. So we must respect that. But having said that, I think it is going to be a very difficult road ahead, not just for America, but also for India, because Pakistan is going to react in unknown and unforeseen manner over the next few days and weeks as pressure mounts on it from the American side. And the only way it can scare both the countries, there is visceral hatred for India, that is a given, and there is ambition in Afghanistan. So the only way it can react is to have a major strike in Afghanistan, perhaps against American targets themselves, and also to block the shipments to American forces in Afghanistan. So that would be along the expected lines. But what is the unexpected that Pakistan has up its sleeve? That is the thing to watch out for.
Okay, Sudhi, vindication of India's stand has happened for the last several years now. But with this direct warning and a threat of cutting off aid from the United States, is India just going to sit back and watch it all play out and continue to do its track 2 with Pakistan at the same time? What's the strategy?
Well, Padmaja, track 2 is completely different. Track 2 will perhaps continue. And because all nations, all countries, no matter how bad the relations are, continue to maintain a window, continue to keep a window open so that they can reach out. But what you're going to see or likely to see in the next few months unfolding very rapidly and very, very, in your face, we are going to see India moving much more faster, much more decisively to isolate Pakistan. Mind you, while we have been trying to maintain our relations with Pakistan, we have also been using our diplomatic clout in the world and specifically in the Gulf, on which Pakistan depends a lot, to isolate Pakistan. And to that extent, this government has been largely successful in isolating Pakistan, in sending very direct messages from their very trusted friends to Pakistan, saying that, this kind of terror, this kind of dual policy, so to say, is not acceptable. So we are likely to see that being pursued much more aggressively. Track 2 may continue, may not continue. That is of no major importance.
Okay, General Shankar Prasad, in conclusion, do you think that other than all the chest beating, this may actually end up worsening the crisis in the region, especially for India and Afghanistan? Like Mr. Dogra said, Pakistan is going to hit back in ways that we'll have to be ready for.
That's absolutely correct. But what I'd like to say in response to your question in particular is that while all the American pressure and the world pressure has been put on Pakistan, we need to now encash on this a little bit. How do we encash? Some months ago in the Asian conference, President Trump and Prime Minister made a categoric statement that all those places which are safe havens for terrorists can be eliminated. You see, in some way after yesterday's tweet, there is a very clear-cut acceptance by the world community that if India crosses the line of control and destroys the terrorist camps, it has the right to do that. There will be no international comments on that. After all these terrorist camps which are across the line of control need to be eliminated. Therefore, now we got a license in some sort of a manner to say that we are entitled to go across and destroy these places. While surgical strike was a very limited activity, we now need to take it to a different level. And this is the time to encash on it. The Pakistan army is deeply involved in the northern area of Afghanistan.
Okay.
They have definitely a sizable force in the Western Front in the Eastern Front against us. But time has come for us to also unleash something particularly so that they get some message. While the line of control is very active, the terrorist camps across the line of control need to be destroyed. And with all the might that India has at its powers today, whether it's the Army, Navy or the Air Force or any other intelligence or whatever else the country has got in its power, must be unleashed now, and the time is running out. Unless that is done, all of these things will continue to happen.
After time all, for India to encash.
Threat of 255 billion being stopped is only a threat at the moment.
We'll keep a close watch. For the time being, thank you very much all gentlemen for having joined us on the broadcast. Quick break now. Coming up on the other side, another stormy day in Parliament can be foreseen as the Triple Talaq Bill or the Anti-Triple Talaq Bill will be brought into the Rajya Sabha after being passed by the Lok Sabha on Thursday. Stay tuned for the details.
Thanks for watching the video. For more such news and updates, please like, share and subscribe to India Today. Also check out our other great videos from our channel. We know you would love to.